Jessica never expected that an ordinary trip to a children's store would change her life forever. After her painful divorce from Richard, she thought she'd raise her son alone. But fate had other plans, plans that came in the form of Michael, a man who didn't hesitate for a moment when he offered her his hand, his heart, and the promise to raise a child that wasn't his. It all started quietly, without drama. Michael was calm, reliable, and had a warm way about him. Her son, Ethan, quickly grew attached to him, as if he had always been part of their little family. Jessica often caught herself thinking, maybe this is what real happiness looks like, not fireworks, but steady light. 2 years later, life felt steady, almost perfect. Until the evening of the 25th anniversary celebration of the company where Jessica had worked for years. The event took place in the Denver branch, in a large hall decorated with white roses and golden ribbons. Jessica wore a long emerald dress, her hair styled in soft curls. She hadn't felt this radiant in a long time. That night she saw him, Richard, her ex-husband, the man who had once walked out without looking back. He stood by the buffet table, wearing his favorite charcoal suit. His eyes froze on her, scanning her from head to toe, and Jessica felt a shiver crawl up her spine. "Jessica," he said, stepping closer, "you look incredible." She raised her chin slightly. "I didn't expect to see you here. I transferred to the Denver branch. Guess we're colleagues again." He smiled faintly, though his eyes betrayed something sharper. The evening passed in a blur of polite conversations and sidelong glances. Jessica tried to ignore the way Richard kept looking at her, with a strange mix of curiosity and something that felt dangerously close to regret. Part 2. A week later, Jessica was walking out of the office when she spotted him waiting by her car. "Can we talk?" Richard asked. She crossed her arms. "Make it quick." He hesitated, then spoke with quiet certainty. "That boy you had at the anniversary party. He's my son, isn't he?" Jessica blinked, stunned, then let out a short, bitter laugh. "Ethan, Richard, you and I both know you can't have children. The doctors were very clear about that." "Doctors make mistakes." "No," she said firmly. "Sometimes people just can't accept the truth," but he didn't back down. "I want a DNA test." Her temper flared. "You don't get to barge into my life after disappearing for years and make demands. Michael is Ethan's father in every way that matters. You gave up that role when you walked away." Richard's jaw tightened. "If there's even the slightest chance he's mine, I won't walk away again." Jessica stepped closer, her voice low and icy. "There's no chance. And if you try to drag us into court, I will fight you with everything I have." He didn't reply, but the look in his eyes told her this wasn't over. Part 3. The following week, Richard showed up again, this time in the parking lot of a local grocery store in Boulder, where Jessica was shopping with Ethan. "Who's that man?" Ethan whispered, holding onto her hand. "No one important," she replied, pulling him toward the car, but Richard blocked their way. "Jessica, we need to resolve this." "You mean you need to feed your ego?" she shot back. He ignored her jab. "If the test proves Ethan is mine," she cut him off sharply, "you still wouldn't be his father. Michael is the one who tucks him in at night, who teaches him to ride a bike, who's there for every scraped knee. You're just a ghost from the past. The word ghost hit him harder than she expected. His lips pressed into a thin line. At that moment, her phone rang. It was Michael. "Hey, love, Ethan and I are waiting for you at home." His warm voice came through the line. Jessica smiled softly. "I'm on my way. Love you." She ended the call without another glance at Richard and walked away. Part 4. When Jessica got home, she found Michael and Ethan sprawled on the living room rug, covered in paint, engaged in a heated game of cowboys versus aliens. "If I'd come any later, you'd have destroyed the entire house," she laughed. "Mom, we didn't even use dynamite." Ethan said, "Wide-eyed, and how do you know about dynamite?" she teased. "Dad told me," he said proudly. Michael quickly put a finger to his lips. Buddy. "Don't tell Mom, or she think we're building a Mars invasion team." "Mars. Yes, we're going to Mars," Ethan shouted, darting off to grab the cardboard helmet Michael had made for him. Jessica laughed until her eyes watered. In that moment, she knew she had made the right decision when she married Michael. Love can come and go, but what they had now, a family, respect, unwavering support, was worth more than any old romance. She looked at her husband, wrestling playfully with Ethan on the rug, and felt a warmth fill her chest. Their marriage might have started partly for Ethan's sake, but it had made all three of them truly happy. And that, she thought, was the only thing that mattered.